Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the U1001 U6710 Batman watch. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Oakston 7019. Not the best watch in the world. I don't know if I'm going to be able to give this a positive review or not. And Greg was wearing my D-Bert 6101 GMT with a NH34 movement. I asked Grogu to explain the hydroelectric power system of the prison factories in Andor. I asked him, once the water falls down to power the generators, wouldn't it take more power to bring the water back up? He said in their galaxy they discovered the secret of perpetual ocean. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this box, and in the box we have a pillow, and that's it. Other than that, I just have the extra links I took out. So no unsigned warranty card or anything like that, just a box. But I usually keep my boxes because I put my extra links in there. So here's the watch. Looks like I should change the time so you can actually see the dial better, huh? Alright, now here's the watch. This is the first U1001 on my channel. I paid $45, which seemed kind of cheap for an automatic GMT with a steel case. Turns out it isn't an actual GMT. That fourth hand is strictly a 24-hour hand and cannot be set differently. If you want it to track GMT time, you'll have to do it with the bezel. In fairness to U1001, and nowhere on the watch or in the ad is GMT mentioned. I only assumed it was a GMT due to the design. It only goes to show you can't assume anything. If I had known it was not a GMT, I would have given it a pass. I chose the Batman. There was also a Pepsi, a black, and a two-tone black. There is no Jubilee option. The watch is 40.2 millimeters at the bezel, which slightly overhangs the case. Has a 48.1 millimeter lug-to-lug, 52.7 if you count the protruding end links. It's 13.4 millimeters thick, which is kind of thick. 20 millimeter lug width, and weighs 139 grams with 2 links removed, so it's fairly light for its size. The bezel is 120 click unidirectional. I exclaim every time I have a GMT that most of these cheap ones you're going to have a unidirectional bezel just because they share parts with their diver counterparts. But this one has really good action. Not too heavy, not too light, and everything lines up just fine. And it's a nice looking ceramic bezel. Not quite as nice as that D-Bert I reviewed the other day. Then we have a black dial. And it's got the U1001 logo up top. And then it says mechanical watch, although this is an automatic. Then on the bottom it says automatic. Then it says the World's Yours limited edition. Well, if this is a limited edition, I don't see any numbers or anything on it. So I don't think, maybe it is or maybe it isn't. I don't know. Then the indices are your typical GMT master style with dots on and batons and a triangle up top. Then of course the hands are similar too. You got the Mercedes hour hand, fence post minute hand, then the lollipop second hand, and then the GMT hand. In this case the GMT hand is loomed. Then we have a date at the 3 with Cyclops, and as you can see, this Cyclops isn't doing the best job in the world of magnifying. It magnifies a little bit, but not a lot. So a lot of people don't like Cyclops, and you're not doing yourself any favors though if you put a Cyclops on a watch with this poor magnification. Then the crown is a screw down crown, And even though it's a screw down crown though, you only get 30 meters water resistance, which is kind of disappointing. I would understand if it was a push-pull and a press-on case back, but that's a screw-down case back. You think you could at least get 50 for that. Then when you go to the second position, once again, this only changes the date. It doesn't change the position of the GMT hand because this is not a GMT hand. This is a 24-hour hand, which is too bad. Once again, I didn't realize that when I ordered it, or I probably would have gave this watch a pass. But the thread action is not too bad when you go to screw it back down. It goes in nicely. And the crystal is flat and it's glass, not sapphire. They always say Hardlex in these AliExpress ads, but that's never really the case because Hardlex is a proprietary Seiko material. So that's just our term for hardened glass. Then the case is solid steel and it's brushed up top and bottom and polished on the sides. This is pretty typical for a watch that looks like this. Then the case back is a screw down with a coin edge. I looked for slots just to make sure it wasn't a fake press on since you only got 30 meters, but I don't see any slots, so I'm assuming this is a real screw down. Once again, I wish you had at least 50 meters for that. And I'm not a big fan of this type of case back because you need special tools to open it. I wish it just had a slotted case back like a normal watch. I know you can get away with that when you're a Rolex, but when you're not, I don't see why you would. Then underneath is a movement. I assume it's Chinese made because if it was Japanese made, they'd be advertising it. And once again, this is not a GMT movement because the 24-hour hand is not adjustable. And it's a 3 Hertz movement and it hand winds, hacks, and has a unidirectional rotor because you can really hear it spin when you move it in one direction. Don't know if you can hear that. So let's go ahead and put it on the time grapher and see what it looks like. Here it is on the time grapher. As you can see, those are some pretty good numbers for a watch in this price range and a Chinese movement. So -1, +3, -1. Amplitude's okay. There's no beat error. So yeah, this is running pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised here. The bracelet is an oyster style with solid end links, polished center links, screw pin adjusters. So the bracelet's not bad, but here comes the weakest part of the whole watch is the clasp. The clasp is just awful. First of all, this thing here does not pivot. So this is strictly friction. And the friction's so light, it's the only thing keeping this thing shut is this safety fold over, and that is barely doing that. And it doesn't give you much confidence wearing it. If it wasn't for this fold over, this thing would be coming loose on you all the time. And then two, this has Easy Link, but the Easy Link will not stay. You put it here, there's no click, will not stay, and it comes undone. So I keep it on the second micro adjust just so you don't see the unsightliness of the Easy Link. So not a good clasp at all. Then it's just, do not like it. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. It's a nice looking watch for the price. And it wears fine. And I do like the looks of it. On the lume room, let's find out if this sub $50 watch has at least decent lume. If you speed up the time, I would say that this lume is decent. Some of the index dots are pretty weak, but who cares about them? The hands are keeping up with the indices. Not great lume, but at least decent for a watch in this price range. What do I like about this watch? It's nice looking. It has a ceramic bezel with good action. And you are getting a solid steel watch for under $50. And the movement's very accurate. What are my gripes and groans? The clasp is horrible. Will hardly stay shut. It's all sloppy. Even shutting it can be a chore. Horrible clasp. This is not a GMT watch. It's only a 24-hour watch made to look like a GMT watch. And it only has 30 meters of water resistance despite a screw-down crown and screw-down case back. Do I recommend this watch? No, there's a lot to like, but the clasp and the fact that it isn't a GMT are deal breakers. Yeah, you could buy a better clasp, but that would just up the price unless you just happen to have an extra one lying around. Yes, this watch is priced right, but you could do so much better for just a little bit more cash. Well, thank you for watching my review of the U1001 6710. And I will be back with another review or unboxing. I have a feeling I got something coming in the mail today, so it's going to be an unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.